A very good morning. EURUSD has continued to push back up in towards the upside after it retraced into weekly and both daily demand. Now, yesterday there was major volatility after Trump announced that he was going to fire Powell, and due to the inflation numbers for producers coming out. Now we're going to dive into the market update and see where EURUSD could potentially head next. Now, as we can see here on the daily time frame, the overall daily market structure is still bullish for EURUSD. Overall, this current fractal low is still respected, and the current fractal high is still here to break. The overall swing structure is still bullish. The overall fractal structure is still bullish. We were traced exactly into discount and in towards those two daily imbalance candles, which have the potential to continue to push the market up higher here for EURUSD. Now, based on the daily time frame, we can clearly see that further upside is possible. Now, going into the 4-hour time frame, we can also see that that upside is possible due to the fact that the 4-hour had a 4-hour fractal structure shift. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, it was preferable that we were going to be taking out these equal lows over here, which we actually did to absolute perfection. We took out those liquidity lows, and then after that we saw the V-shaped reversal in towards the highs, again in line with the overall news. We saw a 4-hour fractal structure break, and we saw a liquidation of those lows, making this overall a pretty strong area of demand. Now, it is a risky demand as it was formed based on news, and that is not kind of preferable, but looking now at the 1-hour time frame, I'll be waiting for the overall momentum to come back. Same for the 15-minute time frame. I'll be waiting for the overall momentum. Preferably, we would take out this overall liquidity low here and then see the overall momentum return back in towards the markets. That is preferable before looking for any longs from my side. So looking for those longs on EURUSD once that liquidity gets taken, and once we then see the bulls return in towards the market, as the market is simply priced from a 4-hour swing structure perspective, because from the 4-hour swing, this is the overall structure. As you can see, we're trading at a discount. From the 4-hour fractal, we are bullish. From the daily swing and from the daily fractal, we are also bullish. And on the weekly fractal, we are also bullish, trading inside a weekly area of demand. So that's what I have for EURUSD. By the way, guys, you see a different background. That is because I'm currently in Dubai. So if any of you are out here, let me know and we can definitely hang out. Now, going to the dollar index here on the weekly time frame. For now, the dollar index remains inside this weekly area of supply, which has the potential to still push the market down lower. Now, once this current fractal high here on the weekly breaks, then for me, the real pullback on the dollar index has started. Going into the daily time frame, we can see that the daily reacted to that overall area of supply as highlighted in yesterday's video. We have been reacting to this overall buy before the sell down, which broke market structure. And based on the 4-hour time frame, you can also see that the market exactly pretty much retraced in towards that overall exact buy before the sell, pretty much as anticipated in yesterday's video as well. Now, 4-hour fractal is bearish, 1 hour is also fractal bearish, but again, a very ugly overall news wick. So I'm waiting for a little bit more kind of like confirmation that we actually want to head down lower, and that is by that liquidation that we saw on EURUSD. Staying here on the dollar index, we can again see though that the daily fractal is still bullish. That's kind of like the only downside to it all. As preferred, you want to wait for the overall daily fractal to be bearish, but trading at this, let's say, high over here, there is still potential for the downside. But just keep in mind that that is why I'm kind of like waiting for a little bit of extra confirmation. Overall, on the dollar index, the price action is, let's say, still relatively clear. But again, this could also just be a liquidation wick to kind of like fuel the next leg up. So I'm a little bit kind of like in the middle with the dollar index. No real conviction that we're ready to head down lower. Just based on the fact that the daily fractal still remains bullish and it's not very preferable. Based on the monthly time frame as well, we just need to keep in mind that the monthly here is trading inside a monthly imbalances. If we quickly turn on the 50% body candle, we can then clearly see that here we have the monthly imbalance, and that is currently, let's say, sustaining the overall bull price. But we also have monthly supply here in the form of this monthly imbalance. That price tapped into exactly and then started pushing down lower. So you see how precise those imbalances can be used to identify areas of supply and demand. But now, based on the 4-hour time frame, let's see if we can head down lower from this area of supply. Just keep in mind, I'll definitely be waiting for a little bit more confirmation before really getting into those setups on the dollar and on EURUSD as well. So for now, overall 50-minute internal structure remains bullish here. so I'll not definitely get into shorts just over here. I would definitely wait for kind of like market structure to break, retest of that supply zone, and then another break in towards the downside. That for me would confirm a little bit more bearish momentum. Otherwise, I just see this heading up higher and higher, as there's no real liquidity in the overall move down, and more often than not, you will see the overall news move itself be reflected. So that's also why I'm a little bit hesitant with trading Euro USD, and why I would prefer definitely to see some lower prices first on Euro Dollar. Definitely take out this low first, and then let's see if we really get kind of like a supported base on that pair. Going into AUDUSD, we can see that AU sold off as well. Overall consolidative, very ugly pair already for a pretty long time. For me, Euro or Aussie dollar, excuse me, Aussie dollar is trading or has traded within this monthly imbalance that is positioned over here. That is currently, let's say, sustaining a push down. Daily time frame wise, still very ascending, very corrective. So just simply not really a pair that I'm very interested in trading at the moment. So I'm going to personally just stay away from Aussie dollar for now. For now, the momentum is in towards the downside, but it will heavily dependent on what the dollar index does. But I think personally that there are better opportunities within the market, for example, on GBPUSD. So GU still looking for further downside. Sadly, it didn't retrace as high as I preferably wanted to. It would have been ideal to retrace into this daily imbalance over here, but regardless, it still seems that momentum is in towards downside. For GBPUSD, not much has changed the overall ascending structure after that overextended leg in towards the highs. Still looking for it to kind of like correct at least back down into 1.31.5, which is, let's say, the beginning of the overall ascending wedge. So still looking for those shorts. Based on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that order flow has been followed. This is the thing with news, guys. You can see that even if you have the perfect 4-hour entry, you can still get stopped out on this wick. Now, overall for GBPUSD, I am just looking for further downside. By the way, this overall target of this low here got met. That kind of like caused the overall spike back in towards the highs as liquidity got grabbed. But for now, I am still just looking for further downside continuation on GBPUSD. So I'm just looking to scale in on potential shorting opportunities. I'm not personally looking to buy this overall imbalance. If I were to buy this overall imbalance, then I would focus on Euro USD myself. So yeah, Euro USD, if for me the better long, GBPUSD for me is the better short. So you could hedge yourself potentially with both trades, and then looking to trade that 1 to 2, 1 to 3 risk to reward with a little bit more risk. Yeah, because I do see GBPUSD still falling. Now going into NZDUSD. NZDUSD still similar to AUDUSD. These pairs have just been moving so choppy, but overall NU a little bit cleaner with a little bit more momentum in towards the downside. As we can see yesterday, we came back in towards that area of 4-hour supply. From that 4-hour supply zone, again, we sold off, looking just for this overall move to continue further in towards the downside. I see NZDUSD for now selling off deeper in towards kind of like this low over here of 0.85500, excuse me. So looking for that further downside on the NZDUSD based on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. Not the cleanest price action, but for now it's definitely bearish. So I would just follow the momentum down lower. Don't really see any clean setups that I would take myself. But if you do, I would be looking for shorts. USD Swiss, USD Yen, and Gold. USD Swiss overall looking for that further upside price action still. Obviously, we're trading kind of like in the extreme of the daily fractal structure. You can see again that that daily imbalance candle pushed the market beautifully down lower. So that's nice to see. However, the 4-hour time frame, I wouldn't be surprised if this was just kind of like liquidation to grab some demand and now continue its overall push up higher. Not looking to short USD Swiss just yet. Definitely would need a lot more confirmation. USDJPY came back down into daily demand. Still bullish. Overall, you can clearly see that this was actually pretty beautiful price action in the sense that it came back down in towards this 50% body candle, pushed up higher again. Daily fractal structure still bullish. So for me, longs are the only thing that are valid for UJ. And we took out some ascending lows, which is always nice to see here. So I would just continue to look for some further upside on this. And then we have gold, of course. So gold itself gave us a beautiful spike up higher after retracing into the daily 0.5 fib. So remember, I was looking for gold longs yesterday, so those played out pretty well. Congratulations if you were watching yesterday's market outlook, because I mentioned it there. Now overall, we can see that price retraced into the 0.5 fib and then flew up higher. Now the sad thing is that we've broken fractal structure, meaning that this is now your fractal structure. So it's not the cleanest of fractal structure now on the daily anymore. It's getting a little bit messy in my opinion. 4-hour wise, I am looking at this demand zone, okay, for potential longs, as it did liquidate this wick over here. So that is what I like. It kind of like liquidated the low before shooting in towards the upside. So that is always positive, and now I'm just looking for the further upside push in towards the highs from that 4-hour demand zone. Now, what do we need for that long? We need confirmation. So now I'll be looking at the 1 hour, at the 15-minute time frame for that bullish confirmation. Again, similar to EURUSD, we want this low get taken out. Well, as we can see, the low has been taken out. And now what you want to see once the liquidity low has been taken out, you want to see bullish momentum come into the market. So that is what we need for those longs. Otherwise, just let it drop further in towards this demand zone, and then again, wait for the bullish momentum to return into the market. So longs are still on the table for gold, but waiting for a little bit more bullish confirmation. That was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go live for the New York session this afternoon, so make sure to be there. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below.